Almost 2 years ago, I published 2 videos about UniFi Layer 3 switch. One about how to make it work with pfSense. The other one about, when you have 2 UniFi Layer 3 switches, how the Layer 3 routing works. In the videos, in the interest of time, I didn't talk about the details about VLAN 4040 settings in pfSense. I skipped the firewall rules settings. Now, if I look back, it seems those steps are also important and are easy to be missed. In the new videos, let me talk about them in more details. Another thing is, in the past 2 years, Ubiquiti also improved their software a little bit. For example, supporting DHCP relay. So I will also cover that feature in these new videos. During my preparations for this video, I have an interesting finding that now Ubiquiti has an article about UniFi Layer 3 routing and third-party gateways. Even though from this short article, I haven't seen anything that I didn't know or did not mention in my previous videos, at least the existence of this article means Ubiquiti has realized that a lot of users are not using Ubiquiti's routers, and there are tons of demands for more guidance, more documents about how to integrate UniFi's switches with other vendors' routers. So thumb up to Ubiquiti for the first step to provide some information in this article, but I seriously doubt in the future Ubiquiti will provide anything more specific about pfSense for apparent reasons. So I decided to cover as much information as possible about pfSense and UniFi Layer 3 switches. At the same time, because of the aggressive scope, I don't want to talk about everything in one super long video. Therefore, I will have a series of videos for this topic, totally 5. The first one, this video that you are watching, is an overview about what will be covered in the series. This is my lab environment. I run pfSense on a mini PC. The one part is connected to my home network for internet. The first switch is a 24-port USW Pro switch. It's a layer 3 one. The second switch is an enterprise PoE switch. In fact, I don't really need PoE in this series of videos, but I just happen to have this one for no particular reason. Because the second one is part of the enterprise product line, of course, it's a layer 3 switch. I will configure 2 VLANs on the first switch, another 2 VLANs on the second switch. I will also configure a VLAN that is managed by pfSense instead of by the UniFi Layer 3 switches. And you can see 2 other machines in the diagram. One is to run the UniFi network controller. I need it because the router is pfSense instead of a UniFi router. And the other machine is a Linux to run DHCP server. I need it in the video for DHCP relay topic. In the second video about the simplest scenario where I only have one UniFi Layer 3 switch, I will start from scratch without skipping a single step when I configure the pfSense and the UniFi switch, so that you can follow the steps from beginning to the end. We will talk about the pfSense interface for VLAN 4040, pfSense firewall rules, the gateway setting in pfSense side for UniFi switch, and how to configure the static routes in pfSense. We will investigate how the routing works between the VLANs in the same switch or from the UniFi VLAN to internet. In the third video, let's add another layer 3 switch to see whether or how the configurations in pfSense will be different. We will check how the routing works between the VLANs in the 2 different UniFi switches and with a machine in the internet side, how the traffic goes through the 2 UniFi switches. Then, to make it even more complicated, let's discuss whether VLANs which are managed by the layer 3 switches can still communicate with VLANs which are managed by pfSense and how the routing works. In the last video, let's explore DHCP relay option. This feature was not available when Ubiquiti initially released the Layer 3 routing software, and it was a stopper for many people to implement the Layer 3 functionality. But it was added later. And because we are using pfSense, it makes the DHCP relay a more interesting topic. Okay, there will be a lot of things to cover. If you are interested, make sure you subscribe the channel and leave your comments. Thanks for watching.